things we often find in a home inspection are slow-running drains. What you'll see is that the water will collect, and even when you shut off the water, it sits in there and slowly percolates down. I'm going to show you how easy it is to clear these drains without hiring a plumber with just basic tools. Pretty much all you need is a large pair of pliers. Okay. These sink drains get plugged from soap and hair that collects around the pop-up stopper. I'm going to show you how to easily remove this, clear the hair and the gunk, and reassemble it so that the drain will run properly. So the key to removing the pop-up is to loosen this nut, which is located underneath the sink. So sometimes you can do them with your bare hands, but they're usually pretty tight from being on there for several years. So the best way to do it is to get a large pair of channel locks or pliers and just loosen it a couple of turns. Now these are plastic, so you want to be a little bit careful and not over tighten them. So you unscrew that, and the pivot ball will come right out. This is the lever that raises and lowers the pop-up. Okay, after removing the pop-up lever, we come back up to the sink and simply lift up on the pop-up. And this is what causes a slow-running drain. So we just want to pry this off of here. Get a paper towel or a bag. And this is all just toothpaste and disgusting stuff. If you have another sink, don't rinse it in here because we've removed that nut. So take it to a different sink and rinse this off. It doesn't have to be perfect. Now, this is the trickiest part of the whole project. We need to get this back into the drain and line the pivot rod up with this hole in the pop-up. This takes a little dexterity and a little patience, but it's not too hard to do. We're going to drop this into the drain, and we're going to hold it just above all the way in its fully closed position. We're back under the sink here, and you want to make sure that you clean up all the gunk from the drain. Anything that might get caught in the little pivot or on the threads. So clean that up. Now occasionally the pivot rod will get too rusted, and it is something that you can buy at any home improvement store. So now the tricky part. We need to get this bar into the drain hole, and line it up with the popper. There we go. Then once that is through the bottom of the pop-up, you simply tighten this plastic nut, again being careful that you have the threads aligned properly, and you just want to give it a little bit of a twist with a pair of pliers to make sure that it's nice and snug. Now I'm going to run a little water through here to make sure it doesn't leak. And we're going to test it out from up top. So after aligning the pop-up with the rod, we can see here now, as we run the water, that it's flowing as it should. And again, you just want to make sure after doing this that you check underneath the sink after several minutes and just make sure that it's not leaking at all, because that can cause some damage to the cabinetry. And that's all there is to it. Thank you.
I don't know where you lay your head or where you call your home.